Hello, my name is Ben Lovegrove, and in this video I want to tell you a short World War II story. There are, of course, thousands of such stories. The Second World War was a conflict that was so large and which touched so many lives that it's hard for us today to comprehend the scale of it. Perhaps by telling this story here on YouTube, someone from the gentleman's family or a friend of a friend will recognize it and fill in the details. Here then is the story. My wife and I were on a holiday flight to the Caribbean in the late 1990s. We were travelling in economy on a 747 and were seated in 2 out of 3 seats on the right of the cabin. I sat in the middle seat, and in the window seat next to me was a gentleman of advanced years. He kept himself to himself for the first couple of hours of the flight, and I assumed that he preferred a quiet journey rather than to chat to strangers. However, I noticed he was wearing a tie covered in aircraft. He must have been the only person other than the crew who was wearing a tie. So I asked him about the tie, and we started to chat. He was travelling to Grenada to visit a factory that he owned. We soon discovered that we had a shared interest in aviation, and he explained that he had been in the RAF during World War II. He served in Bomber Command as a rear gunner, or Tail End Charlie as they were known, in Avro Lancaster bombers. He had been on many missions over Europe and Germany in particular, and had completed his service without injury. However, he explained that although he fulfilled all his duties as a gunner, he had always harboured a desire to be a pilot. When the war ended, he set about realising his ambition and gained a pilot's licence. But he didn't stop there. He wanted to make a living out of flying, and within a few years he had started and established an aerial crop spraying business. This obviously involved a lot of low-level flying in a variety of locations, and he was very content with his life. One day, while at an airfield in Holland, he watched as a crop sprayer aircraft similar to his own landed. Seeing someone in the same business, he waited until the pilot had parked the aircraft, then walked over to introduce himself. As he approached, the pilot climbed out of the cockpit. He was a very tall man, well built, and he quickly noticed that he had a gold front tooth. He and the pilot started to chat, and over time they became friends and business partners. The pilot explained that he'd been a Stuka pilot for the Luftwaffe during World War II, and that he had served on all 3 fronts. The German pilot's war service comprised of missions to bomb the British in North Africa, the Russians on the Eastern Front, and the Allies on the Western Front. The Stuka was a Junkers Ju-87 dive bomber and ground attack aircraft with a crew of 2. It was infamous for not only its devastating effect on troops, tanks and gun emplacements, but also for the sound it made in a dive, created by Jericho trumpets fitted to its main gear legs. Imagine what he must have seen in those years and the devastation of those battlegrounds. The scale of the battles in World War II and the numbers of men and machinery involved are hard to comprehend today. For example, the Germans mobilized 3.8 million men for the invasion of Russia in 1941. Miraculously, this German pilot also ended the war unscathed and maintained a love of flying. So, for a few years, there were these 2 old adversaries working as business partners, united by a love of aircraft and flying them. Of course, it's not unusual for former enemies to bury the hatchet and cooperate for their mutual benefit. There are probably many other similar stories where individuals who were trying to kill each other a few years previously would later cooperate, build businesses, and marry each other's relations. War is not a normal state of mind for human beings. The vast majority of people recognize the humanity in others. Even if we do not agree with another's politics or choice of religion, or if we simply dislike their style of dress, their language, and their cultural habits, we recognize the humanity in them. Thanks for watching. If you found anything of interest in this video, then please subscribe to my channel by clicking the red subscribe button below. While you're there, please click the thumbs up button and give it a like, and use the comments section to tell me what you liked about this video. Please also share it with friends, colleagues and in social media so that others can view it and comment. By subscribing, commenting, liking and sharing my videos, I'll know what I'm doing right and will continue to make videos that people want to watch. Thank you for your support.